Hey there, what up wastelanders? Thanks again for joining me for another Gaslands NorCal conversion video. Yesterday while I was tinkering around, I made some really cool tank truck with these big ass treads and stuff. That turned out really well, and I also made another heavy duty truck with a big ass ram, and I was like, you know, I should have videoed doing these because I think they turned out so well, so why not do a tank tread video? So I'm going to be taking this Morris Mini and turning it into a tiny, probably taxi tank tread with a turret, just so we can make sure we stay with that alliteration. I'm going to be using some pieces that I got from Angel of Combustion for the tank treads, and then probably stick another big ram. Just love those rams from Anvil Industries. So let's get this taken apart and we will get it into the stripper. Looking pretty good. I love how all the detail and stuff comes out when you strip it. I'm going to be using the Army Painter matte white to put a white coat down because it is notoriously difficult to get yellow to come through real well if you just do yellow straight on top of primer. So we're going to get that done first, and then I'm going to be using the Nightmare Landscapes Nightmare Yellow. This is very bright, very striking, and it's going to go real well with the taxi striping, the taxi pattern that I'm going to put on here. So I'm going to get that done. So first, I'm going to get the mat on there. Also got all the treads ready to go. I've got a turreted big ass gun that I'm going to stick on the roof. I got some armor pieces I'm going to put on there. So first, let's get the mat on there. Okay, so it's got the white all on there, it's all dried up and stuff. We're gonna get this Nightmare Yellow on here. So get all that shaken up real good. And look how bright that is. Probably gonna take a couple coats, just as yellows always do. Okay, so got it all, the yellow all dried and everything, got a second coat on there. Did some of the detail work on there. One of the things I always like to do, whether it's going to be covered up or not, I always like to do the details. It just brings it to life for me. Makes it more of a, I don't know, an experience, I guess. So, got the armor pieces all cut up, got the ram ready to go, ready for some weathering. Tracks are ready. I'm going to get it all back together first. Then I'm going to put the decals on, the waterslide decals. Those are coming from Green Stuff World. Awesome decals, just like everything else they do. So let's get it together, get the decals on there, and then we will start doing some weathering before we start getting everything else put together. So let's get it all put together first. Alright, so we are all back together. Looking good. Now, one of the things that, before we get the tracks on here, we're going to have to put a base on them so we'll hold up the build, because I want the tracks to be just underneath the door handle. So one of the things I really like about the Angel of Combustion tracks is they have these little slots in between so you can have them at different levels. And we're going to want to do it right at the middle slot, and this piece of plasticard, this thicker plasticard, fits just perfectly in there. So I'm going to get it in there and get them glued on both sides, and let that set, and then we will put the water slide decals on. So let's get that in there first. Okay, now as the super glue dries, we're going to go ahead and get the water slide decals on here. And originally I was thinking of doing the taxi stripes here, but then I realized put the tank tracks on, they're going to get covered up. So we're going to put them on the top. So we'll still be able to see that it's a taxi, and still be able to have the tracks on there as well. So we have some stripes going across the top like so, and then maybe a couple on the hood as well. So let's get the stripes on there, and then we will continue on. Okay, got the taxi stripey things going on there, looking great. I noticed that the tracks are going to be a little bit too long for the car, so I'd add some flashing on the end just to cover up the back and make it so the tracks weren't sticking out when we get everything on there. We'll go kind of like that, and we'll have the ram on here covering up the front. Yeah, that's gonna look pretty badass. So let's get everything glued on here and get the flashing glued down and the ram glued on there, and then we will start doing some weathering and get the armor on there and some weapons. Okay, everything is glued back together. Got the flashing glued down and got the ram glued down. This thing just looks absolutely adorable. Love it. Looking great. Kind of pivoted on the weapons. Didn't like how tall the other one was looking, so we're just going to add a heavy machine gun on there. So get that going on like that. We'll get some armor put on there, and then we'll get the weathering done. So let's get our armor pieces glued on, and then we will continue on to the weathering. All weathered up. Got some blood going on there because, you know, pedestrians. Yeah, really turned out well. Love this little tiny tank tracked taxi. Looks great. So if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you want to get notified of additional content that comes out and support the channel, hit that subscribe. Until next time, Gaslands NorCal, signing out.